Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back. It's your boy JGM Wrestling, back out here with another wrestling reaction video. Today's video, we about to react to WrestleLamia's WWE WrestleMania's 41's biggest problem. Now, I ain't gonna lie, this card is kind of stacked. I don't know if WrestleLamia is gonna go into who should be the main event, but let's find out what's the biggest problem for WrestleMania 41.
The WWE as a pro wrestling business is booming, and if you need reminding of this, don't worry. WWE, specifically Triple H, will remind you directly every week on Raw and SmackDown. The WWE boom period started around 2022, with WWE's Bloodline storyline receiving rave reviews, combined with Vince McMahon being forced out of the WWE. It was in essence the right place at the right time for the WWE product to be revered again by fans, as Triple H was very much seen as the golden boy thanks to his booking of NXT, and for the most part his early work on the main roster as head of creative was incredible. The game put focus on lengthy storytelling, and there was definitely a sense that the shows were being produced with love and passion. This was also felt by the talent, as talent across the board spoke out regarding how great the atmosphere was in WWE now that Vince McMahon had disappeared. This creative spark led to a massive surge of success for the company. Shows began to sell out left, right, and center. Celebrities wanted to get involved in the pro
Not gonna lie though, bro, them ticket prices are crazy though.
wrestling industry, and for the first time since the Attitude Era, pro wrestling was cool again. Unfortunately, for the first 3 months of 2025, something has happened. Whilst the shows remain sold out across the world, and whilst ratings and social media metrics remain healthy, the fan reception to the product has drastically altered. There's a strong portion of the audience who find themselves disgruntled with the product. But how has this happened? How has Triple H gone from having the fans on his side to the fans turning against him just weeks away from the WWE's biggest show of the calendar year? A lot of the creative turmoil that is going on in WWE centers around WrestleMania 41, and it all started at the 2025 Royal Rumble. Jey Uso
Not gonna lie, bro, the 2025 Royal Rumble, in my opinion, I like how it was unpredictable, but I don't know about Jay really winning though, man. The way how they've been doing has not been it, in my opinion.
Charlotte Flair weren't exactly popular winners of the respective Rumbles, and the YouTube dislikes spoke for themselves. When it came to Jay, whilst it was great that Triple H was rewarding a wrestler for getting over with the audience, the demand to see Jay as world champion and the demand to see Jay versus Gunther yet again just wasn't at the level he envisioned. It's like the Rumble sent everything off track, and since the backlash to the Rumble, Triple H has been scrambling from a creative aspect. When it comes to Raw,
Not gonna lie, bro, you could have had Punk win it, or you could have had Reigns win it, bro. But it sucks though, because Gunther, that was a big thing too. Because if we were gonna have the heel turn at Elimination Chamber, you could have just had somebody win it. Because if it ends up being CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns being the main event, at least at night one, then what was the whole point of Jay winning? You could have had somebody else win it, and maybe add a title picture. I don't know.
Triple H's credit, the shows have been mostly solid. The 2.5-hour runtime definitely helps, and having Cody Rhodes, who is cemented as a face of WWE, appearing on the show really helps. A lot of the key segments, such as John Cena's explanation for turning heel, have taken place on the show, and this has made the show feel like a major deal. SmackDown, on the other hand, has been a total and utter train wreck of a TV show. When the show was officially announced to go to 3 hours, fans had concerns. There was no need for the show to go to 3 hours. But if WWE or the USA Network insisted, then the show was going to need to utilize more underutilized talent such as Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Unfortunately, that hasn't happened. The 3-hour editions of the Blue Brand have been exhausting to sit through, and WWE have allowed a subpar product to be hidden by rabid European crowds, and fans can see right through what WWE are trying to do. It was announced in early 2025 that Road Dogg was now the lead writer for SmackDown. Road Dogg's track record for writing for SmackDown, well, isn't exactly great, as he was the man who oversaw Jinder Mahal's infamous WWE title reign. During this time, the show was seeing half-empty arenas, and Road Dogg spent most of his free time arguing with fans on social media regarding the quality of the product. Some fans on X have theorized that Triple H isn't involved in SmackDown in any capacity, and that's why the show has been so awfully bad.
See, and you can't even take Shawn Michaels out of that, bro, because Shawn Michaels been doing NXT and he's been doing good. So I don't know. You might have to have somebody else different, right? Maybe. Who knows? Well, let's give Road Dogg a chance, though, bro.
This hasn't been confirmed. It's evident that Triple H isn't a fan of the 3-hour product, and one of the first things he discussed when the announcement was made was how the show will eventually revert back to a 2-hour format. There's an argument to be made that the game is creatively burnt out, and it's easy to see when looking at the current state of the product. WWE are actively hiring new writers and producers, and this may be Triple H and TKO's way of shaking things up before there's no turning back. We're just a matter of weeks away from WrestleMania 41, the biggest show of the year, and fan excitement couldn't be any lower.
You know they could
Fans
save
have
it.
expressed
I don't know what happened. They could say that, bro, by low-key having like some online polls going on. You know, engage with your audience online. And you could see like, remember how we used to have like Cyber Sundays? That'd be kind of dope to see. Like, they can pop questions like, who would y'all want to watch? And then obviously if there's a vote overall, go with it. Wouldn't hurt.
Disappointment with both the match card and the build, and there's a sense that WWE are going through the motions when it comes to what is supposed to be their signature show. The main event of night 2 is set to be Cody Rhodes versus John Cena for the WWE title. Without a doubt, WWE are hoping that the shocking Cena heel turn is enough to sell WrestleMania this year, and both Rhodes and Cena have done a great job in selling the match. Arguably, the match wouldn't have been big enough as a traditional babyface versus babyface matchup, yet the heel turn certainly takes the match to a whole new level. Unfortunately, the same can't be said for other key matches on the show. The world title feud between Gunther and Jey Uso has been uninspiring and lifeless.
Honestly, it's been kind of, bro, ever since this one too, like Jey versus Austin Theory, I if I'm not mistaken, I heard that it was supposed, you know, it got shortened down to basically become that minute match that they had. But like, I'm not, you know, digging the fact that like, you know, they're not, Jey has not crashed out yet, bro. Gunther's been taken over. And I get it. Gunther's your heel. But they're not like going back and forth. Like, you know, there was a point when Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns only spoke once. But you see the ambition that Cody was trying to do to chase the story to finish it. And with Jey, you don't see that, bro. Like, you just get the yeet. That's it, you know, in my opinion. But I don't know, man. I feel like it's just drying out.
WWE attempted to build a match by having Jey squash Theory on Raw, and this led to a surge of backlash, with fans stating that burying Theory isn't going to convince them that Jey should win the world title. Whilst Jey definitely has his supporters, the idea of Jey as world champion is a bleak reality for many fans, and all signs indicate WWE crowning Jey next month. The WWE Women's title will also be defended in a match between Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, and the build to their match has been alarming. WWE have completely buried Stratton in the build, and their verbal face-off on SmackDown from Italy completely exposed Stratton. This is a scripted medium, and there was no reason for WWE to make Stratton look as bad as they did. The only way they can rectify this is by having Stratton defeat Flair clean on the grandest stage. But with this being a Charlotte Flair matchup, a Flair win and another women's title reign wouldn't be exactly out of the question. The biggest non-title match on the card is the triple threat between CM Punk, Seth Rollins, and Roman Reigns. And ultimately, this has been the most frustrating build so far. For weeks, WWE have had Paul Heyman and Seth Rollins come to the ring during an international broadcast and declare that the other top names in the feud aren't on the show, and they will be at a different show. This is negative booking and makes zero sense. Why are WWE rubbing it in fans' face that they haven't spent a fortune on tickets and the biggest stars aren't even there? The three men would eventually face off on SmackDown from Italy, and fans were highly critical of the verbal interactions. The three men have had deep and interconnected lore and continuity, yet WWE decided to ignore all of this and explain that Reigns' issues with Punk was the fact that he eliminated him from the annual Royal Rumble. Is that the best the WWE can do? This is surface level storytelling and not strong enough for a match that is a strong contender to headline night 1 of WrestleMania.
Nah, I think it is, bro. Like, they still got time to promote if they show up. There's a lot of there's history here. Now, the fact that they didn't mention it, Punk did say that he's gonna need that favor soon. You know, he had a glimpse of saying that, but he never really said what it was. You know, I feel like there's gonna be some snake things going on there. Obviously, we already know the history between Rollins and Punk. We definitely know the history between Rollins and Reigns. I ain't gonna lie, I would have been fine if it was both of them. In my opinion, Punk did not have to be involved. You could have had both of them and have Punk go against Gunther. Give him the chance to main event. Low key, that probably would have been right there a lot more better. Because Punk would have been the biggest babyface while Gunther's trying to be the biggest heel. Like, it made more sense there. I don't know, bro.
But in relation to the main event of night one, a healthy number of fans are pushing for Io Sky versus Bianca Belair versus Rhea Ripley to receive the nod. The match has all the components for a classic WrestleMania match, and there's an actual logical, compelling storyline heading into the triple threat. Outside of the discussed matches, there are numerous wrestlers such as LA Knight, Sami Zayn, and champions from both brands without clear direction. And based on rumors, WWE could be replicating WrestleMania 2000 with the amount of multi-person matches set for the show. Now, while some would claim that the dislike for the current product is overblown, the product is a far cry from the 2023-2024 run that Triple H was on. They seem to be making up plans as they go along, and a lot of the booking is frustrating and sometimes downright bizarre. The Rock's booking over the past 12 months has led to a lot of questions from fans. The Rock returned at Bad Blood in the main event, counted at 3, then dipped. Solo Sikoa would state that this was part of the plan, then it was never mentioned again. Is The Rock showing up, doing whatever he feels?
We don't even know what the hell the Bloodline's doing, dude. Feels
like, then going back to Hollywood? Well, that's what it feels like. And bizarrely, The Rock showed up on Raw in the Netflix premiere as a babyface, and then he stated that he and Rhodes made up off-screen. This was really annoying to hear, as the two engaged in a blood feud on the road to WrestleMania 40, and it made Rhodes look incredibly weak as WWE's top credible babyface by explaining that the two just made amends without any physicality. The Rock would then backtrack on this by stating that he wanted Rhodes to sell his soul to him at Elimination Chamber. This would turn out to be the catalyst for Cena's heel turn. WWE have yet to discuss the relationship between The Rock and John Cena, and there's been no mention as to what selling your soul really means in the grand scheme of things. WWE also used Travis Scott for the segment, and this has also been ignored in subsequent episodes of television. On this topic, The Rock had an interesting comment to make on the creative relationship between himself and Triple H during a WWE press conference earlier this year. Triple H loves this business. I've known him for a long time. He's doing a great job and I talk with him often. What I like about Triple H is he'll present me with something, I like it, we'll chop it up, and I'll present him with something else. What I like about Paul is, it's always been this way with Paul even when we were wrestling. It's, hey, let's do something unpredictable, something that's bold. And why is The Rock directly changing Triple H's creative? Yes, The Rock is on the board of directors, but Triple H is the reason that the WWE product is booming right now. So why isn't he just leaving Triple H to do his thing? It's a weird dynamic, and it will be interesting to see how The Rock's involvement continues over the next few months. Potential internal issues aside, WWE can turn this around. They really need some solid weeks of television, and they need to deliver a universally acclaimed WrestleMania broadcast. The show needs to have iconic moments, and they need to set the tone for the next 12 months of their programming. Coming out of the show will be a huge test for WWE, as they need to stop relying on the fact that their product is perceived as a hot-ticketed event and begin to once again deliver a product that is worthy of a substantial price tag. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.
Man, shout out to WrestleLamia for making a dope video, bro. As always, go give it a like, guys. But man, he's not wrong, man. There's some questions that need to be answered here, because there was some moments where the Bloodline story was kind of peaking up again, and then next thing you know, went back down again. Like, what is Solo doing? You know, what is the mid-card title scene looking like? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of questions that really do need to be answered, and it looks like, you know, what's the story? What's the reason for Punk, Reigns, and Rollins to even happen? He's not wrong about it. Even though the star is very insanely powerful, like, you could just have them three main event. There gotta be a reason for it too. At the end of the day, it's all storytelling, right? Man, shout out to WrestleLamia for making a video. If you guys haven't done so already, do me a favor, yo. Subscribe to your boy on the road to 2K subscribers. Yes, sir. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.